Hello, my name is Yasemin. I am the president of SMA Europe and the parent of an 11-year-old boy with SMA.
Hello, my name is Giovanni Baranello. I'm a pediatric neurologist based in London, Great Ormond Street Hospital in UCL University.
On Wednesday, so 2 days ago, we had a workshop on neurocognitive issues in children with SMA because we noticed that there seemed to be some problems there in some of the children. My son, for instance, also has some issues. He has problems with language, some social communication related problems. And I was actually very happy when I learned from Giovanni that he has been observing this also in other children with SMA.
Yeah, because essentially this came from, started as observations in the clinical practice. We were not used to see, especially the severe SMA patients, those with type 1 that are not surviving in the past, when there were no disease-modifying therapies. Now that they can survive, they can even progress, acquire new motor milestones, learn to speak and to talk. At the same time, we were starting to see that the behavior that they were showing or the development that they were having was not at the best, or their potential. And so this is why we started, to somehow try to move things forward and to understand more if there is an issue, how wide, how diffuse this is among the patient population, and what we can do to address that.
For me as a parent, it was actually really a relief to see that other parents were experiencing very similar things with their children. I think many of us heard when our children were born that, okay, your child has SMA, but other than that, in terms of cognitive development, in terms of social development, there are no issues at all. And so I always felt a little bit alone. And in that sense, it's really good to know that we are not alone and that it is part of SMA, because then, of course, we can also try to find out how we can help our children better. And I think that is where we are right now. So in general, the clinicians, they recommend, of course, that early help, early intervention is very important, so that from a very young age onwards, these children can receive the support to develop to the optimal or the best possible way they can. But in the long run, we need to understand much better, I think, how we can help our SMA children specifically. So what type of specific, maybe more individualized type of help could be beneficial for our children. I noticed, for instance, in my son that he is definitely learning, he is growing, he is developing. But of course, it is in a very, very different way than many other kids.
Yeah, because it has required a sort of shift of mindset and understanding. There was and there is still a lot of focus now on motor development, achieving, sitting, walking, improving in terms of motor abilities. And sometimes the families, especially the families of the newly diagnosed patients, forget that there are also other aspects. There is the general development, there is the social interaction, there is the ability to play and to adapt to the external environment, there is the ability to communicate. So all these aspects are somehow forgotten and not taken into consideration, and having the possibility to discuss with families, look, this is probably something that requires more attention, more focus, something that we need to understand how we can improve in the patient. It could be an area of vulnerability, especially in some group of patients. I think is a change, in the mindset and really allow to have a global, holistic approach to the child and the patient with SMA.
I think it's very important that parents are aware that these potential problems can exist. I think the more we know, the more we observe, the better we investigate this, the better we can eventually help our children. And I'm really happy that many clinicians, including Giovanni, are now aware of this issue and are working on it. And also us, of course, from the patient advocacy side, that we can support them.